So I'm going to reveal the hidden truth about why most people will never, ever, ever build wealth. And honestly, after helping hundreds of clients over my career and seeing the same patterns repeat over and over again, there is one insight that I've seen that changes everything. And look, I've worked with people earning £20,000 a year who've built more wealth than those earning like 100,000. I've seen lottery winners, genuine lottery winners, go completely broke. And I've watched ordinary people become millionaires. So today, we're diving into the 3 hidden truths that separate wealth builders, people that grow their money over time, and everybody else. You'll discover why your income is not the problem, how the media has been lying to you about money, and the one mindset shift that I've seen that transforms everything. So stick around, because by the end of this, you will see money completely differently. All right, so first up, it is not about how much money you earn. It's about your money identity. You know what? This first truth is gonna blow your mind, to be honest with you, because it goes against everything that we've kind of been taught. So about 5 years ago, I was sort of sat just waiting for a couple of clients in a coffee shop. I was seeing 2 clients in the same day, and they were gonna come and just meet me there, right? The first meeting was at 10 a.m. with someone earning not that much. I think like 35,000. They were just working in a regular job. The next meeting in the afternoon, like 2 p.m., whatever it was with a consultant who was pulling in like 95, 100K a year. Now, you'd think that the consultant would be the wealthy one, right? Wrong. The admin worker, let's call them client A, had £45,000 in their ISA, no debt except their mortgage, and was on track to retire early with a really good pension. And the consultant, well, he was in his overdraft every single month, had credit card debt, and some fancy car on finance. And to be honest with you, every time I saw him, he was just constantly stressed about money. And here is what hit me like a ton of bricks that day. Client A said to me a thing that I'll honestly never forget. He said, "I don't earn much, but I'm wealthy because I think like a wealthy person." Whereas client B at the time, he just always used to keep saying to me, "I earn good money, but I just can't seem to get ahead." And it's like they were just living in kind of like completely different worlds, you know? And the difference, it wasn't their paycheck. It wasn't how much they earned. It was their money identity, their money mentality. Client A saw themselves as a wealth builder. Every pound that came in was either for like living or growing, right? They put a label on it. Client B, well, he just saw himself as someone who like deserved nice things because they work hard. Now, fair enough, but that's not how you're going to grow and build money and true wealth over time. So here's the thing, your money identity, it's kind of the story that you tell yourself about money and about how you handle it. Most people have a poor person's identity wrapped up in like middle class income. They think, oh, when I earn more, I'll save more. But it never works like that. You know it doesn't. So wealthy people, people who are growing, investing, saving, building, protecting their money, they think differently, right? They pay themselves first and then live on what's left. And poor people, or people who have that poor person mentality, they live first and then they try and save what's left, which, as we already know, is usually nothing. So in my experience, if you actually want to change any of this, here is what you could start doing, okay? Start seeing yourself as a wealth builder, not some frivolous spender who's kicking the can down the road, right? Every decision you make, ask yourself a simple question. What would a wealthy person do here? How would they treat this money? Is it going to help me or hinder me? And trust me, that simple question, that simple framing of how you look at money will change the way that you grow and develop and build wealth over time. And it will just change everything for you. All right, so number 2, the media has been lying to you about what money and wealth looks like. Okay, so honestly, this next truth is going to make you angry. And honestly, it should. So last night I was preparing myself to sort of film this video that you're watching right now, right? And I'm sat there watching TV and there's some absolutely dreadful show on the background about a celebrity buying like a £2 million watch or something. And then straight after, an ad for a luxury car. And then another program about house prices going mental and people living in London in £5-10 million houses. And I'm just sat there thinking, it is absolutely no wonder, no surprise that people are confused about money and wealth. So you see, here's what happened early on in my career, okay? I had this one client, and during our first few meetings, I could tell that they were just completely stressed, completely worried, completely overwhelmed just about money in general, right? And when I asked him about it, he said, I just always feel poor. But then the mental thing is that when I actually looked at his finances, he had more money than 90% of the UK population. The problem was that he was stuck sort of comparing himself to the wrong people with the wrong metrics. You see, look, the media just shows us two types of people, right? The mega rich with their yachts and their jets and all that sort of stuff, and then struggling families on like benefits. There's this polarization and there's a massive gap in between where most of us in the real world actually live, but we just are never represented. Think about it this way, right? It's like watching a cooking show where they only show Michelin-starred restaurants and then people eating like, I don't know, beans on toast or something, right? Where is the good old, lovely, home-cooked kind of basic Sunday roast? Where's the normal? Where's the good, normal food that most of us just actually enjoy? And here is the truth that the media won't tell you and that you don't see on Instagram and TikTok. Real wealth isn't flashy. It's boring. It's 6 months of expenses in the bank, right? It's maxing out your pension contributions. It's owning investments that quietly grow while you sleep. I've got clients worth millions who drive 10-year-old cars. I've got clients with ISAs pushing over $1 million and they shop at Aldi. Real wealth whispers. It doesn't shout. So please, I beg you, okay? Stop comparing yourself to the highlight reel, to the things you see on Instagram and TikTok, on Facebook, all this sort of stuff. Stop comparing yourself to these metrics that you don't even know. Start comparing yourself to who you were last year, 5 years ago. That is real progress. And that is exactly how real wealth actually gets built. All right, number 3, you are playing the wrong game entirely. Now, this is honestly a big one, okay? And I really hope it's going to change how you think about money forever. So I remember this moment so clearly, okay? I was in my office, I don't know, probably about 3 years ago, something like that. And I had 2 relatively young clients come in the same week. They're brand new clients, right? We both started working together for the first time. Both of them said that they just wanted to get rich quick. Both of them were convinced that they just needed like the right investment, the right stock tip, the right hot cryptocurrency recommendation. And the first guy was obsessed with like day trading and all of these courses and classes. I remember he like pulled up his phone and he showed me all of these trading apps and he was talking about, oh, I want to make £500 a day on trading. And the second client, he wanted to know about high risk investments in like Forex and individual stocks and all of this sort of stuff. And you know what? All I could do was just sit there and think to myself, you're just playing the wrong game. Because look, you see, most people think of wealth building and money and getting rich as sort of finding this like secret strategy, right? The hidden trick, the insider knowledge. But that is not wealth building, it's gambling. It's a bit like thinking that you can sort of, I don't know, get fit by finding like the perfect workout routine, when in reality, you know that you just need to like walk a little bit more every day, get your 10,000 steps in, eat your vegetables, and just be a little bit healthier. It's not rocket science. The real game here isn't about buying 10 quid's worth of lottery tickets every single week. It's about putting 10 quid away every week, month after month, year after year. And do you know what? I learned this the hard way myself, right? I remember the first few months of my career, I was working in finance. I thought I was cool. I thought I knew what I was doing. I got caught up with all of the excitement and the promise as well. I thought I was smarter than the market. I lost money on individual stocks. I tried to time the market by coming in and out. I fell for all of the latest investment fads at the time. And you know what? I remember the exact day that mentality changed for me. I was sitting in on a meeting between one of the more senior financial advisors at my company at the time and one of their like longest standing clients, right? It was just a normal guy, just an unassuming guy. And I'm sat there thinking, okay, this should be interesting, right? And he had been investing, I don't know, like 200 quid a month into boring index funds for 20 years. Like super boring, super simple. Never touched it, never tried to be clever, never tried to do anything. And I just remember thinking, this guy has just been doing consistent, boring things for a long time. And guess what? As soon as the advisor sort of whipped out the valuation, he had like over 180 grand in that one account that he'd been contributing money to. And it wasn't about being smart or, you know, being lucky or anything like that. It was from being consistent and patient. Not rocket science. And ever since that meeting, ever since that day, I've completely changed how I feel about money and how I feel about growing my wealth and how I work with clients. And the reality is this: wealth building isn't a sprint. It's a marathon, honestly. The game that most people are playing is how can I get rich fast? The game that wealthy and successful people in this space play is this: how can I build wealth sustainably? Sustainably over time. That is such a key phrase. Start playing the right game. Set up automatic transfers on payday. Put that money away before you can spend it. Use tax efficient accounts like ISAs and pensions. Invest in boring, diversified funds and basic investments, and do it month after month, year after year, decade after decade. I know it's not sexy. I know it's not exciting, and you wanted me to tell you that there was some hot cryptocurrency that you could put your money into and tomorrow you'd be a millionaire. But that's not going to happen. But you know what is exciting? Having financial freedom while everybody else is still stressed and struggling with money. So there you go. There's the truths, okay? But here's the thing. Everything that I've just shared with you, it kind of won't work, okay? Unless you understand one boring strategy that every wealthy person I know is kind of obsessed with, which is why you need to watch this video here, because I'm talking about a simple set and forget approach that builds real wealth while you sleep. It's so simple that most people just ignore it, right? And it's literally how millionaires are made. So click on the video now and I will see you there.